Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and when I'm not turning hapless victims into a human stallion, I'm here at the Wolfula RiffViewing movies. If you haven't guessed by now, after my videos on Clown House and Cannibal Holocaust, I'm in a big mood lately to cover controversial movies that really push what you can talk about on YouTube, a website where you aren't allowed to make adult-oriented videos or videos that kids can watch. What videos can you make on YouTube? I don't know anymore. All I know is that YouTube is only getting shittier year after year, and creators and audiences are being forced to eat it up. Speaking of which, it seems only natural I cover 2009's The Human Centipede first sequence, a film directed by Tom Six that serves as a perfect metaphor for this hell site. The movie has been notorious since its release. Chances are high you at least have a bit of familiarity with what the film is about, but just in case you don't, I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie in advance. No context and no background details. I will tell you this though. If you're currently eating or planning to eat while watching this video, go ahead and eat up. Enjoy your meal, let's begin. The film opens with a car parked near a freeway, and I'd like to think this was a Mercedes-Benz commercial if it wasn't for the guy inside crying. That's more of a Hyundai commercial. The weeping man is staring intently at pictures of dogs giving rim jobs, which is pretty much how you can describe half the content on DeviantArt. The crybaby parade is called off when a trucker stops near the clearing to take a shit. I don't know why the guy wouldn't drive a little further for some privacy, unless he wants to give a show. Well, this film certainly answers the question, does a bear shit in the woods? This is why I only shit at home. I just know this will probably happen. Later that night at hotel, a couple of tourists in Germany are gearing up to go to a nightclub called,
Yes, I was wondering if I could get driving directions to a nightclub called Bunker.
Ooh, heard that club is run by a real cool dude named Adolf. The ladies end up lost on the way, though, and Germany is the last country you want to be lost in the middle of the woods at night in. Things only get worse when the gals get a flat tire.
Oh, shit!
God, I'm already losing count of these cliches.
Shit, there's no signal.
What?
There's no signal.
I think this movie's trying to go for a cliche record here. Luckily, a typical example of a German arrives to hopefully save the day, but there's a bit of a language barrier.
Die habe ich doch eine ganz heiße Kassette zu Hause.
No, we speak English.
The girls managed to glean one word, though.
Fucking. He said fucking.
Okay.
Roll your window up.
Well, he could have started with the obscene licking earlier if he wanted to fuck. That's universal language right there. Less than a minute after seeing that creepy German dude, the girls do what anyone would do in their situation and wander aimlessly into the dark woods, wasting no time getting fucking murdered. I like it. It doesn't take long either before this shit becomes the Blair Witch Project.
We just got a little lost, okay?
A little lost?
Yes.
Lindsay, we're not a little lost. We're really lost. You know what?
I don't know.
Lindsay, I'm not walking anymore.
It only takes this bitch 30 seconds to have a conniption fit. Things only get even worse when the girls wander underneath a rain machine and are forced to seek shelter at a nearby house. The man within is the shooter of the shitter from earlier.
Yes?
Okay, here's a little advice. If a creepy German man asks if you are alone at night, say no. Or better yet, don't go into his house. You know, actually, on second thought, I think this guy's on the up and up. Like, when he's fixing the girls' waters, I'm pretty sure those are just Mentos he's slipping in. They're gonna have some really fucking fresh breath. Being caught in the rain works up quite a thirst anyway.
Verdammt nochmal, kannst du nicht aufpassen, du dumme Sau!
Oh, come on, ho. How can this kind fellow show you some German hospitality when you spill your water like a common hooker pissing into an alley? In the middle of all this, Jenny starts to pass out for some reason.
The rape trap.
Oh wow, I didn't really get a Cosby vibe from this dude. You think you know a guy. The next morning, Nazi Elon Musk cosplaying as Steve Jobs enjoys a healthy mixed fruit breakfast. Didn't expect this to turn into a Dole advertisement after a rape drug scene. The gals themselves end up waking up safe and sound in the hospital. The murder hospital. The dehydrated Tesla founder has no use for the trucker, so the dude is injected with a liquid that instantly kills him. I can only assume it was Mountain Dew. Off camera, Hyder obtains an unconscious Japanese guy. Throw an Italian into the mix and we got a full Axis on our hands. You know, honestly, why did we need to see a trucker shitting if the actual guy getting used was just gonna be caught off screen? I mean, really. Oh, look at this proud papa. Hyder channels his inner Steve Jobs and puts on a keynote presentation to pitch his new product to his captive audience, sewing them together, ass to mouth, into a centipede-like being. A human centipede, if you will.
A human centipede.
It's still a better idea than the HomePod. It's only until the last minute that Lindsay shows that she can very easily and quickly escape from her bonds and make a break for it. Okay, that could have come in handy a day or two ago before he was telling them a Japanese guy was gonna be shitting in their mouths. Oh, hell yeah. He has an indoor pool? What is he doing turning people into centipedes for? He's living the life. Hyder is prepared to shoot Lindsay with the sedation rifle, but he just can't do it. She's too cute. Seriously, though, they kill a lot of fucking time with this pool scene. It's honestly irritating. After all that, the power goes out and Hyder just leaves. Instead of shooting her shot and escaping, Lindsay tries to play hero for her sedated co-captives because the characters in this film are written on the maximum dumb setting. Yes, dragging your friend through a house and back to civilization is indeed practical. That's using your big brain. The dude gave this bitch quite the head start. He probably was taking a shit during this 5-minute segment. Now here's where the groundwork finally gets laid. Honestly, I thought he was just saying things when this dude was talking about that human centipede shit. I didn't think he'd actually do it. Wild. Oh, now this bitch has a Lindsay Lohan smile. Next up, Hyder cuts up the asses. Well, at least they'll be ready in case they ever drop the soap in prison. After doing some totally reasonable liquoring up, Hyder gives his little home DIY project a once-over. Oh, his human centipede has a Playboy tattoo? Tacky. Just burn the whole thing. Hyder gets his centipede up on its feet like a mother waking up her kids for school, taking pics of them for their first day of being an abomination. You know, I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about the movie, I kinda expected a little bit more from a human centipede than just 3 dudes connected with bed sheets. This is nothing to kiss yourself in the mirror over. This is a bare minimum execution of this idea. Hyder attempts to train his centipede to get the newspaper, which is, I guess, something people do with centipedes.
Come.
Next up is dinner time, and Katsuro wastes no time to eat from a dog bowl, knowing full well his ass is just phase 1 of his meal's journey. After biting his master, though, the dude ends up eating heel. The next day, Katsuro finally takes a shit, and based on the prayer he does, it's gotta be a mean one.
Feed her! Feed her!
Honestly, this movie is the average millennial's dream. The human centipede just needs to be eating avocado toast to make it complete. The next day, Hyder is shown skinny dipping in the pool. Again, this guy is living the life. He's got everything figured out. It only takes a few days for the flaws of a human centipede to become apparent. The sections that are forced to subsist on nothing but butt are probably going to get sick and die, and then you're left with nothing but a Japanese guy with some corpses stapled to his ass. And that's not as catchy of a movie title.
I think you're dying. I have to replace you.
Man, he's got a lot of time on his hands. It goes without saying that the police eventually come a-knocking, and wow, German detectives look like the most crooked cops you'd see in Gotham City. Of course, Hyder learned how to solve all of his problems from how Bill Cosby handles consent. Hyder intends to replace Jenny with the 2 cops as the rear of the centipede.
I've got 2 strong and healthy replacements.
You know, Hyder is either a really dumb motherfucker, or he's just hoping that more police will come over that he can add on to this fucking thing. The cops obviously know when they're being roofied and leave this otherwise totally unsuspicious house with a picture of conjoined babies on a wall. Totally fucking normal. With the cops finally out of his hair, Hyder excitedly rushes to continue enjoying his human centipede like we all would, but the thing drives a scalpel into his foot. Oh, these are just love bites.
Yes, sir!
Wow, this guy cannot handle pain, hurts his foot and goes into a mini coma. Ass by head and ass by head, the centipede manages to crawl up the stairs. Honestly, why do we care if they escape? Who would want to live after this besides the Japanese guy? He had it easy shitting down that bitch's throat. He'd only need special cushions to sit down on after this. After breaking a window a little bit, the human centipede is confronted by the mini human centipede, and they prepare to have an all-fours knife fight. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Katsuro admits, though, that he's been an asshole all his life in more ways than one and deserves to die, committing seppuku at the worst fucking time. I didn't think the head of the Human Centipede would likely commit suicide, but here we are. Anyway, the cops come back 5 minutes later with a warrant. More great timing. But one of them is unfortunately starting to feel the effects of Hyder's Cosby drug. The other detective uncovers Hyder's little experiment. What, you think the guy never saw millennials have an orgy before? The detective does what anyone else would do and heads to the pool. Okay, you're not gonna be screaming like that immediately while getting shot. You go in shock from the pain. Oh, whatever. After it's all said and done, Lindsay and Jenny have a heartwarming moment together, holding hands as Jenny dies with her mouth sewn to her best friend's ass. Brings a tear to your eye. Hopefully Katsuro's corpse has some more delicious shit to sustain Lindsay for the next couple hours. And yeah, the movie just ends there, leaving the answer of what happens with Lindsay's mouth and ass situation going forward completely hanging. Okay, apparently there's gonna be a graphic novel that explains what happens to Lindsay at the end, but fuck that. Ugh. Well, that was The Human Centipede, an honestly terrible film undeserving of its reputation. The film has a horrifying concept that's executed in the most bare minimum way imaginable. It feels like the writer/director of the film just started with a solid premise and really half-assed everything else, which is saying something with this movie in particular. The movie isn't really scary or shocking. It's just kinda gross and depressing, but it's not even that gross and depressing. I don't give a, pardon my French, shit about the characters and the imaginary shit that they're forced to ingest. It's just a stupidly written movie predicated on cliches with horrible direction and acting. I will say, though, that the film is at least competently shot and produced. I give The Human Centipede first sequence a shitting Japanese man out of swimming pool. Hey Goulash, I got a new idea I could try out on you.
Feed her! Feed her!
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like it, and if you loved it, subscribe for more and click the bell icon to find out when my latest vids and streams go live. Want a double dose of Dr. Wolfula? Donate to my Patreon and you'll get bonus content for supporting the channel, including exclusive movie streams and commentaries weekly. Be sure to also give me a visit in the free Popbase app to hang out in a virtual Wolfula, complete with horror quizzes and bonus vids. Link in the description to download for iOS and Android. I'd like to give a special thanks to my true Wolfulite supporters on Patreon and my channel memberships for their pledges. Their support helps keep the channel going after all these years. Thank you guys. Alrighty, Dr. Wolfula signing out. See you all next time.